Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Andy, and today we're going to review Watcher Chronicles. Watcher Chronicles by developer Third Sphere Game Studios is a Souls-light experience with a dash of metroidvania type areas. The game doesn't offer much in the way of story, but definitely makes up for it with its boss fights. Now I know, at first glance when you see the cartoon style artwork of this game, you might be inclined to say, nah, no thanks. However, the game actually looks pretty sweet, and the enemies come in a wide variety of all shapes and sizes. Fighting the enemies is pretty straightforward with attack, block, and dodge. You have a bow, of course, and you can use it as a secondary weapon, or you can use magic later on in the game as your secondary weapon as well. The weapons range like most fighting games, quick ones like katanas, medium ones with, like a normal sword, or slow lumbering ones that I don't particularly like to use, like large hammers or axes. You unlock weapons and armor by progressing to new areas, but know that you'll not only need Umbra, which is basically the currency in the game, but you'll also need to find a specific item in order to obtain armor. Oh, and you'll also need to level certain areas of your character up, and if you want to purchase that, shiny new blade. But where do you purchase these things? Well, I'll tell you where. It's in a little place I like to call Haven. Yes, Haven. Well, the developers, they actually call it, they're the ones that called it that, but I like it. So, the Haven is your safe space, where you can, frolic about with no cares in the world. You'll be able to purchase weapons, armor, spells, rings for basic buffs, and a few other items. You can also upgrade your items, but it'll cost you. The strange Haven man at the bottom, he tells you to go to 4 corners and defeat bosses and apparently bring their heads back, because once you do, they are then placed on this altar that's next to him, and that'll open up the final portal that leads to the end game. Okay, whew. Now, I know what you're thinking. That was a lot. Take a deep breath, but, and let's keep going, shall we? Now, this game reminds me of Tales of Iron, a game I loved, by the way, and Salt and Sacrifice, a game I didn't enjoy all that much. So, what's the big difference? Well, in Watcher Chronicles, there just seems to be more freedom, more fun action, and just a better overall feeling playing the game. I enjoyed that you can fast travel to any shrine once you discovered, and you can fast travel back to the Haven from these shrines as well. I love that you can thumb through the areas and see how many fast travels you've unlocked, and also how difficult the area might be. But one of the biggest things I loved about the game was the variety of enemies and the bosses. The enemies attack in all sorts of ways, and it really keeps you on your toes. And you can definitely tell when you've ventured into an area you probably shouldn't be in yet. The bosses, they start off kinda easy, but don't let that fool you. Things turn in a hurry. Some will quickly start to punish you in so many different ways, you just won't see it coming. I wasn't a huge fan of the bosses that would like throw you up in the air and put like a 3-piece combo on you as you watched your health quickly disappear. For real, you don't stand a chance when they do that. It is absolutely absurd and it is crazy frustrating at times. While the game looks great and the music is awesome in the game as well, as it changes from each new area, and the enemies are well made and they basically, keep you on your toes, as I said, and the bosses look fantastic as well. They are very intimidating and they are very difficult. That's kind of what the Souls games are, right? So it's Souls light, I suppose, but there are some very, very tough bosses in this game. But I do have a few gripes about the game. First, the most rage-inducing moments is when you have to jump from platform to platform, high way up in the air, all while an enemy stands at the edge waiting to send you to your death. And, God forbid, it's an enemy that can throw stuff at you. Why is this so frustrating though? Because, just like in any Souls game, when you die, you drop all of your Umbra. You don't retrieve, if you don't retrieve them before you die again, guess what? They're gone forever. Yep, they're gone forever. And also, all that Umbra you drop from falling up high doesn't show up where you landed at. Nope, it stays way up there where you fell. Second is something I mentioned already. The bosses that can put you in the spin cycle and whoop your butt with no chance of stopping it. Let's be real for a moment. You have to learn how to block in this game. Now, the blocking, it does not work to perfection. No, it does not. And that's a problem all on its own. But it's a must if you want to beat the later bosses, because dodging is almost useless at this point. Seriously, most bosses later on can hit you all the way from one end of the screen to the other. And I'm laughing right now, but I'm also crying on the inside. And don't tell me to get good. I kicked some major butt in this game. This is just a flaw that I noticed. Anyways, learn to block. It will save your life. Maybe. It might. If you're lucky. Watcher Chronicles is a fun game that doesn't say, hey, let's get you lost for hours at a time and then punish you with an unexpected boss fight. No, it's going to lead you almost right into that punishment. Trust me, you'll know when a boss fight is close. The look and music are stellar for this game. There isn't much as far as story, but honestly, you won't notice that. The combat is basic, but the variety of enemies is super cool, and the weapons along with the armor are great. I mean, I've fought around forever just to try to get the paladin armor. Yeah, the paladin armor, and you have to find a specific item to get it, and it looks absolutely incredible. There are flaws in this game though. We just talked about them. The blocking can be suspect, and it's a vital part of the game. The ledge guarding is absolutely infuriating, and some of the bosses are straight up ridiculous with their combos. I mean, the way they can hit you is absolutely crazy sometimes. But these are like minor little gripes, and all the positives in this game, they definitely outweigh the negatives. So, don't look at this game and think you won't enjoy it because it looks like cartoonish. Because if you do, I'm telling you right now, you will definitely miss out on a fun game. Thank you so much for watching this review. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. I reviewed this game on my PS4 Pro. Didn't have any issues with it at all. The game was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it way more than I enjoyed Salt and Sacrifice, which sounds kind of crazy, but it's true. So if you haven't seen my review on that, maybe go back and check out why I didn't like that one as much as I like this one. But this was a fun game. I had a blast with it. There were a lot of rage moments because of the ledge stuff, and the bosses get pretty difficult later on in the game. They get intense. They're fast, and you have to, I can't stress this enough, learn how to block in this game. It's very important. And even when you do parry sometimes against the bosses, they'll knock you back and you'll be so far away from them you can't hit them anyways. But, you can level up and strengthen your character and all that stuff, so, just create a character that is overpowered like I tried to do. I would say the game probably takes about roughly 16 to 20 hours, I would say, is probably what you're going to get out of this game. If you take your time with it, or you just struggle with it like I tend to do with these kind of games. But yeah, definitely check it out, and let me know what you think of it. And as always, Indy on, brah.